All right, here at No Reserve we have our 96 F150. It's a factory black extended cab short bed. It's just got 88,000 original miles. Really nice original clean condition. It's about the only area that's had some paint work done is right at just the extended cab area. We've been around in it. It matches really good and everything. It has some wear on it, but it doesn't have the same amount of wear as the door and the bed and the rest of it. So it's like 90% original paint. So probably had a parking lot incident or something like that where somebody backed into it, but it's all solid metal. It's a nice pinstripe, but it's got the factory gray interior. 96 is a really hard to find year because it's the last year of this body style for the F-150 and the Bronco, but also it's the only year to have its OBD2 computer system, which is easier to troubleshoot, and then it's a mass airflow engine, and all the 96s, the motors are roller motors, so that makes them just a little bit better of a motor, better reliability, lasts longer, and just kind of a stronger motor. So we'll go ahead and go down this. This truck is 23 years old, original black. I mean, you're not going to have a truck that's going to show more wear and tear than black, and this truck looks phenomenal. It's got really nice deep reflection. You can see me in the you can read my hat, and I'm a few feet away, so but you are going to have, there is just some things about a 20-plus-year-old truck, original truck, that you just, it's inevitable you're not going to get away from, like little stone chips. But this is the trade-off for original paint, especially black. There's little, when you get close, there is little paint checkering, in some areas. On the top of the hood, they're just these tiny little slits. If you want to really hide them well, you can go get some of that black wax, start a wax and make some, and you can go over the top of it. But when you wax them, these little slits will show a little bit more, but they're not something you're going to see until you really got your face in it, like you're doing a hand wax or washing it. When you see this truck going on the road or you walk up to it, it just looks amazing. But the the headlights have a little bit of fading, kind of some of your typical 90 stuff, but it has super low miles of only 88,000 original, but age does do its thing too. But all the trim is in nice shape. All the black moldings are nice. The chrome's got a deep reflection. There's a little bit of stone chips in some of the chrome, but the colored coves and the grille look nice with minimal fading. The color lenses look good. There's no condensation in any of the lights. All the body gaps are really nice. There's never been a hyperextended hood. Sometimes people don't latch the hood, it'll pop up, or they don't grease the hinges, and the hood will be all deformed. There's no clear coat issues or paint lifting. This is usually the common area that starts. This is right on this flat area. No chips or cracks in the window. It's all the rubbers around the fly windows are nice and soft. The felts are in nice shape. Don't have any cracks. They're not brittle. They're nice and soft too. But you're gonna get some little door edge wear, some little chips on the edges. You got a scratch here. Nice door gaps. Both doors shut really nice. All the pinstriping lines up. All your molding lines up. It's been obviously it's been somebody's baby. It's got this stainless steel trim on the bottom. It's got the bed caps. It's got the bully steps, the polished aluminum Alcoa wheels. So it's got a really clean, crisp look with the factory black. You will have a couple little stone chips along the bottom. They're not real bad. You do got some little stuff like this. It's just, if you want a totally repainted truck, guys like me just love the original Survivor stuff. The bulkhead's nice and straight. And you got little stuff like this. So this is stuff to me that's, when you look at it, it's like, it shows its story and its age, obviously for a couple decades old. But it's nice. You could see it's no questions, all original, and that's what I mean by you could tell that one little area's been painted because it looks just a little bit fresher than the rest of it. So you got your typical top of tailgate scratches, stuff like that, little chips, but the tailgate's nice and straight. It's never been overloaded. Bottom's nice with just a few little chips. The rear panel is in nice shape. It's got the, a lot of times they'll get a real oxidized look, but there's no dents or dings on the panel, no cracks on the plastic, just a little scratch there. Step back, you look at the bumper, it's nice and straight. All the molding's in nice condition. Both of the taillights are a little bit faded, but still no cracks or chips. Original 4x4 decals, a little bit chipped out here. And again, you will get a little bit of that, type of pickup wear on here. Inside the bed's really nice, but look at the anodized bolts, how bright they still are, and also in the hinge area of the tailgate. You know, this is kind of like some of the low mile stuff, is it still has that nice look to the bolts. It's not oxidized or dirty. Tailgate shuts nice and smooth. The bed's seen minimal use, no big dents, overloads. The bed's not all wavy, but it's never had a bed mat or, you know, bed liner in it, which is nice to see that, you know, it wasn't hiding anything or nothing got in there and started to rust the bed out. So I'll go around the passenger side, but you'll see in the inside the no tape lines here. No tape lines, never been sprayed. In the wheel wells, it's pretty amazing when you see these original trucks. You know, it's got, you know, 23 years old and nobody's ever sprayed paint up there, no cheap undercoating. It's just really, besides a couple little dress up items in the stereo, it's just bone stock like it was in '96. Little scratches. Couple little chips here. You know, you have a little bit of wear from getting in and out. This door felt does have some cracks in it, a little bit drier, but the rubber on the wing window's nice. You know, both mirrors look good, but the, you know, the chrome on the mirrors a little bit peppered from some of the stone chips and the wind hitting it from all those years. A little faded around here, but again, just your typical stuff, but a lot better condition than your typical mid-90s pickup. All the wheels are really nice condition. A lot of times with these things, they'll get real kind of white looking, or if they weren't taken care of, the clear coat on the outside's coming off, but these things look as good as they did new. So I'll go ahead and take you inside. You know, this truck has absolutely no dents, no dings. You know, just has those little imperfections of, you know, little wear scratches and stuff. And if this truck was white, silver, even red, you know, only a bit black and like the dark green and blue would show these things. I mean, this truck, you really wouldn't see much on this truck if it was different color, but you know, I always say black's the best and the worst color, because they pretty much are as dirty as just as soon as you get done cleaning them, but they look amazing when they're clean, and everything looks good in black. And it looks killer. It's got the light gray interior. It's got the 40-40-20 split, so this folds up. You got your cup holders. A lot of times this piece is missing, but this folds up, so you got another seat. Really just a couple of minor little marks. There's no smoking, there's absolutely no odors in this thing, no breakdown of the seats, just a couple small marks in the front seats, and then the rear seat folds down, and so oftentimes I'll take you to the other side, but you'll get little marks in here for when the seats folded down and the seat belts are out. But just very little wear on the carpet. Really nice carpet, especially for its age and being light gray. You can see that's really nice. Took the floor mats out so you can see it. The dash is basically perfect, besides a couple little hairline cracks there. It's got a nice little Pioneer stereo, ashtray, never been smoked in. It's not broken or hanging. Door hinges are all nice and clean. Passenger door panel, no cracks, chips. Just very minimal fading on the top of here. This is really common. I don't know what they made these things out of, but the door handles, I don't know why, but they're really easy if you unbolt them. It's a 5/16, you could tape this off, scuff it up, paint it semi-gloss black, or these you can buy brand new for $5. So really easy item to replace or just clean up. Again, just got that killer solid door sound to it. They can hear the steering wheel is what really stood out to me. It's got just very minimal wear, but I wouldn't even call it wear. It's just, you know, the leather is really nice and tight. Oftentimes this is pulled away, it's loose, it's got holes worn away, but it is just killer. And the steering column is nice and tight. The tilt when you move it around. Again, there's the door panel is in nice shape. It looks to be never been off. It's not missing any screws, no cracks or chips. Just a little bit of discoloring right here in the leather and in the pull handle. Again, you see, you know, the anodized look of the hinges. No rust anywhere. It's just 100% solid truck. You can see the VIN number. And then the driver's seat's in really nice shape. There's no holes or anything. It's a power seat, so it moves forward nice. Passenger side's manual. But these are the little marks I was talking about. You'll see these little marks, and over time they will go away, but they're usually caused from something being on the seat underneath here when you fold it down, because this piece comes up and then this piece folds straight down. So if you have something underneath there, it will wear on it. So we'll go ahead and take you underneath. There's a lot of photos of underneath. We'll take you underneath the hood. A little bit of a two-handed operation here, but go ahead and pop that up. Really clean underneath the hood. You can tell there's never been any mud splashed up on there, no radiator hoses that have exploded and put that rusty water look. Even the light underneath works. Everything works on this truck. Cold AC. This is mass airflow truck, you know, so obviously has a drop-in K&N air filter, but if that's not your thing, it's easy just to replace with a nice Wix unit or Motorcraft. Still got a Motorcraft battery on it. You just see it's really nice and clean throughout here. Just you know, nice and honest, and no overall spray, no greasy stuff sprayed all over the place. You could just see, you know, exactly how the truck's been cared for, all the original decals. I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up and let's see here how many miles we got. 88,831. So there'll be a few more on it in case we get some test drives, or we're also gonna do a driving video. So, but it'll still be in the 88,000s, 800. You can hear it just running nice and smooth. No exhaust leaks or ticking or anything like that. So, all right, this is going to no reserve, or 88,000 original mile, factory black, extended cab shorty F150. So good luck. All right, here we are for a run and driving video of our F150. It's a 5.8 automatic, 4x4. We've got only 88,000 original miles. So it's pretty amazing to find a truck that's 23 years old, under 100,000 original miles, you know, considerably under 100,000. But all the lights are working. You can see the license plate lights those are even working. The cargo light works when you open up the door or you turn it on manually. Running nice and clean and smooth. It's got brand new exhaust. So all right, we're gonna hopefully if traffic doesn't hold us up. It's kind of a rush hour time, but AC blows really nice and cold. Kind of overdressed for the day, so I got it cranking really good. But you can hear it at all speeds. You know, some of them, if they're wore out, only work on one speed. Nice little Pioneer stereo. That sounds nice. So go ahead and turn off the four-ways. Daylight, so I'll go ahead and turn off the lights. The you know, all the gauges work good. You can see we're up to temp now. The gas gauges, if you're not familiar with these trucks, has two tanks. Each tank runs off a different sending unit and different fuel pump, so it's a little bit above E. You hit the front tank and it goes up, so that's kind of always nice, so you don't have to worry about, you know, clicking something down manually or coming to a stop. So we'll go ahead and hit the road here. I'm going to turn off the overdrive just so you can see it works. There's no flashing issues. The 4x4 works good. It lights up in both spots, and you can hear the automatic motor engage, so there's no issues there. But it's a nice dry day, so I'm going to go ahead and take it out. And it's automatic four-wheel drive. It's a modern, just like a modern four-wheel drive truck nowadays, so you could just be going on the road, click it in, and be moving, and not have any issues. But and same with disengaging it, you just push it and it goes out. But I just wanted to back up. If you come to a complete stop and back up, it totally disengages it right away. And since it's so dry out, it's not even rainy, I don't want to have that kind of tension on the 4x4 U-joints and stuff like that. Even though it doesn't really do any harm, but the wipers work good at all speeds. You got intermediate, you got your high, but again, it's a muggy, warm day, so no water to be worrying about there. So, like I mentioned in the other video and in the description, it's nice. It's OBD2, so it's just like any modern car that you buy today. You can just, if you have an issue down the road, 2-3 years, check engine light comes on or it's running weird, you can hook it up. You can go buy Napa's, O'Reilly's. They can even plug it in and tell you what it is. You don't need to find somebody that's you know, OBD1 specialist, but most stuff 1995 and older in the domestics like Ford, Chevy, Dodge are going to be OBD1, so they can be troubleshooted, you know, no problem, but it can be a little bit more difficult, or maybe not every shop can do it. So the overdrive being off, that you know, it's owner preference. Me personally, I like to have it off if I'm doing city driving, or if I'm in stop and go traffic, or maybe in my truck if I have a trailer on it from under 45 miles an hour. It just keeps the wear and tear of the, you know, like if you're in traffic, it goes into overdrive and out, into overdrive and out. You just click it off, and kind of just keeps that upper RPMs going. But a lot of owners prefer just to never mess with it, and that's perfectly fine too. It's kind of how the truck's designed. But there is a manual that comes with it. It comes with all its original books, and it kind of talks about the electronic overdrive, which is kind of cool. It's just kind of it's interesting. You get in these trucks, and they kind of have a timeless body style, but you got to kind of remind yourself, 23 years old when this truck was brand new. That was in 1973. That was 23 years old. So this vehicle's come a long ways, but you still got to remember and respect that it is, over 2 decades old, and stuff like electronic transmission and power windows and power door locks are still kind of options, So we'll get going. You can see this one's got the RPM gauge. You can see it shift up through the gears. It has really nice up and down shifts. If you floor it, down shifts right away, up shifts. So this one's also got power mirrors, power door locks, power windows. I'll come to a stop down here. I'll come do a do some back roads with you guys, and I'll show you the power windows working. I just want to do that when I'm on the highway. Currently got the cruise control set in about 62 miles an hour. You can see we're going nice and smooth, no issues, foot's not on the pedal. We'll go ahead and turn it off, and it'll start deaccelerating. You'll see the RPMs kick down. So it drives really nice and smooth. It's got 31-inch tires on it, which is nice. It's a little larger in stock, but it fills up that wheel well and gives it a little bit more of a stable feel, and just kind of a little bit more tougher, more stable look. So we'll go ahead and punch it. It's got that nice little deep throttle body V8 sound to it. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the overdrive so you can see that it works again. Turn it back on. I'll leave it on just to show you it's just like normal driving. There's no special instructions. You don't have to worry about it if you don't want to. Power windows working good. Of course, they go all the way down, but don't need to show you all that. All the windows lock really good. They stay in place. They take good tension to push. They're not gonna flop around in the wind. And your power mirrors work. Your cigarette lighter works, and this auxiliary charge in. I had my cell phone charged up to that. There's really chunky road. There's potholes and patches. I'm hitting at about 28 miles an hour. Another patch. There's an uneven cross. You'll see it here in the middle. That's raised up about 1.5 inches. And it just soaks it up nice and smooth. You don't have, this truck isn't one of those trucks that's, somebody's gone in and messed with the wiring and taken the dash all apart, taken the door panels off a bunch of times, and, missed all the screws or put different screws in there or broke clips. It doesn't, it's not a rattle box. It just soaks up all the bumps nice and solid. So I'm going to take you in some tight S-curves. It's a 90 to the left, come down, 90 to the right, 90 to the left, so you can see steering column's nice and tight. It wants to, as a good steering box, when you go into a tight corner like this, as soon as the road straightens out, it wants to recover itself. You'll see it bounce back. A worn out steering box or tie rods or ball joints, it's basically going to be fishing it down. Nice and tight there. And this is just a killer truck. It really puts you in your seat. Tight corner right here. The truck really has no needs. It's just ready to jump in and go. All the fluids are good. Brakes are good. Tires are good. So alright, 88,000 original mile factory black truck. It was extremely hard to find. It's going at no reserve, so good luck.